Good evening, students. First of all, best wishes to all the students at the nook and corner of the country who have given this very prestigious exam, Engineering Services. Today we have assembled here to give detailed solutions in the Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. All the best.
Go, open చేద్దాం క్వశ్చన్ ఆన్సర్ బాగా ఎలిమినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆప్షన్స్ ఎలిమినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి వచ్చినా పెట్టండి ఆగలేదు మళ్ళీ వెయిట్ చేయాలి దానికి మళ్ళీ
వెయిటేజ్ నర్సు అని చెప్పేస్తాడు టేబుల్ వేసి
Okay, students, let us go through the weightage in the respective subjects. You can see in advanced communication, we have got around 18 questions, computer organization and architecture around 16, analog and digital circuits around 18 questions, measurements and instrumentation is also important, and control systems, signals and systems. So you can see any subject, a minimum weightage of 10%, around 10 questions are guaranteed in every subject. Network theory around 9. So that means a student has to focus on almost all the subjects. Okay? Fine. I'll take up analog circuits now. Just go through the question. The common base DC gain of a transistor is 0.967. Alpha is given as 0.967. It is the ratio between IC and IE. If the emitter current is 10 milliampere, emitter current is given as 10 milliampere. So now you can find the collector current. The examiner wants you to find the base current. So what is IB? IB can be written as IC by beta. Or IB is nothing but IE minus IC. So it's a very simple problem of subtraction, right? You have collector current here and you have emitter current here. Emitter current minus collector current is the base current. So try to subtract this. IC is around 0.967 into 10 milli, and IE is already given there. So IB is, you have to subtract, I think it is 0.33 milliampere. Another simple question. The transistor has alpha equal to 0.995, and if the base current is 200 microampere, the value of emitter current is, what is IE? IE is 1 plus beta times of IB. Very simple substitution problem. Here alpha is given. So alpha, if you want beta, you can write it as alpha by 1 minus alpha, and beta is given as 200 micro. So now you can substitute and solve. 1 plus alpha is 0.995, 0.995 by 1 minus 0.995 into 200 micro. So try to solve this problem. I think this comes around 40 milliampere by substitution. If you try to do this, it comes around 40 milliampere. Just kindly check. This is the solution. 1 plus 0.995 by 1 minus 0.995 into 200 micro. So these are all simple substitution problems. In the previous problem, you can see that is happens to be exactly similar. Here alpha is given. The DC current gain of common base is alpha, which is IC by IE, and IE is given. So you know IC, and IB is IE minus IC. So it's a very, very simple problem. The common emitter transistor amplifier has an input impedance of 2 kilo ohm. Input impedance of 2 kilo ohm. So what do you mean by this? Input resistance of 2 kilo ohm. R pi is 2K. R pi is 2K. Load resistance of 25 kilo ohm. RC of 25 kilo ohm. If the beta of the transistor is 100, what is the power gain? Power gain. So this also happens to be the substitution problem, because power gain is the product of voltage gain and current gain. What is voltage gain of a common base amplifier? Minus GM into RC. And current gain is nothing but beta. So what is GM? GM is beta by R pi into RC into beta. So now it's a matter of simple substitution again. Beta is 100. Input resistance is 2 kilo ohm. RC is 25K, and again beta is 100. So 100 into 100 is 10,000, 25,000 by 2, so hopefully 25 by 2 is going to be around 125,000. So hopefully this calculation comes to 12500. So kindly check 10,000 into 25 by 2, 12.5. So this should be the answer, B. Which one of the following amplifier is an emitter follower? So what do you mean by emitter follower? The output at emitter follows the input. So you can see the output at emitter follows the input. So this configuration happens to be common collector. Since collector is connected to the signal ground or power supply, common collector is also called emitter follower. MOSFET is used as a load device is referred to. Now suppose you have a common source amplifier or a common gate amplifier. Suppose this is a common source amplifier. Now you can connect a passive load like RD or something like that. But if you want a larger gain, then the same PMOS can be used as an active load. So these MOSFETs can be used as active load for generating a larger gain. So hopefully active load, option C. Option C is the right answer. For a non-inverting amplifier, the input resistance R1 is 1 kilo ohm, feedback resistor RF is 10K, the closed loop voltage gain. So this is a very simple non-inverting amplifier. So we all know in a non-inverting amplifier, the gain is 1 plus R2 by R1 or 1 plus RF by R1. So V0 by Vin is 1 plus RF by R1. How much is RF given? 10K. R1 is given as 1K. So 11 is the right answer. But you can see two options are there, A and B. He has also asked for the feedback factor. The feedback factor is always inverse of gain. Inverse of the gain. So, or you can calculate feedback factor by voltage division. So the feedback factor is the voltage here, Vf by V0, which is R1 by RF plus R1, which is exactly the inverse of this 11. So 1 by 11 hopefully is 0.09, 1 by 11. So 1K by 10K plus 1K is the feedback factor. So hopefully 0.09. FET amplifiers are introduced at the initial stages of receivers. FET amplifiers are generally, the reason why we go for FET is because of its high input impedance. So FET amplifiers are introduced at the initial stages of the receivers. The final output becomes less noisy, the bandwidth is very large, the gain will be very large, the output impedance will be very low. So you can see whenever we use FET compared with BJT, they are definitely less noisy. Bandwidth, it all depends on the number of stages and the junction capacitors. Gain is very large. No, BJT has a much larger gain as compared with the FET. So this is also not correct. The output impedance is very low. No, generally if you use a FET, the resistance at the drain can be quite large. So the final output can be less noisy. Option A is the answer. A JFET has Vp equal to minus 4.5, IDSS is 10 milliampere and IDS is 2.5 milli. The transconductance GM. So what is GM? ID is IDSS into 1 minus VGS by Vp whole square, right? So GM, try to calculate change in ID by change in VGS. If you differentiate, you will get 2 IDSS into 1 minus VGS by Vp. So this is the transconductance. Vp is given, IDSS given. You can just substitute. This is a simple substitution problem. You can just do it. Okay. So 2 ID 2 IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP. It's a very, very simple problem. So these are okay. My friend will continue another subject.
Hello, let us see signals and system questions. This year we got around 10. Let us study this question. In a reconstruction filter, if the output is xt in time domain and C0 xf in the frequency domain with no frequency components above its highest frequency and xf is 0 for mod f greater than or equals to fh. It is simple sampling theorem derivation reconstruction. Normally we use it to assume a band limited spectrum for doing the derivation. That is what it is stated. So then what is the nature? Then that the signal is called as band limited. Option B is the correct answer. Sampling theorem. 125, Fourier series exists only when the function is well defined and single valued, possess finite number of discontinuities, finite number of maxima, minima, and absolute integration for one period. These are generally called as which conditions? Convergence of Fourier series. They are named to be Dirichlet conditions. Convergence of Fourier series, straightforward. Z transform is given and he is expecting the signal 1 plus half Z inverse by 1 minus half Z inverse. It is a proper one. First you have to perform general division to convert that to strictly proper. So after that, the expression is simplified to 1 plus Z inverse by 1 minus half Z inverse. Based on the standard formulas, writing the inverse. What is the inverse Z transform here? Constant in the Z domain is del n. This is 1 by 1 minus aged inverse a power n un causing shift of extra z power minus 1 indicates z power minus n naught form causing shift of one sample. But if you see the options, here we have 1 by 2 whole inverse that can be written as, the second expression can be written as 2 into 1 by 2 whole power n u of n minus 1. No del n term is visible here. What he has done in this option is product property of impulse. 1 by 2 whole power n del n, that corresponds to what? 1 by 2 whole power n del n is simply according to product property of impulse. It is simply del n. When you apply the product property of impulse, impulse exists at 0. So the final answer is del n can be adjusted as 1 by 2 whole power n del n plus this extra term. Okay, that leads to option B. A first order low pass Butterworth active filter has cutoff frequency of 10K, unity gain at low frequency. What is the transfer function magnitude? Recollect Butterworth filter, what is the magnitude response? General formula 1 by 1 plus square root of ohm by ohm c whole power 2n. Magnitude response order is mentioned to be first order anyway. In the question statement, first order low pass Butterworth. What is ohm number given? Ohm c number known. He wants at 12 kilohertz, cutoff frequency is mentioned to be 10. 12 by 10. So this is roughly 1.2 whole square means 1.44. Let us go for approximated number, root of 2.44, roughly root of 2.4. It lies between root 2 and root 3. Root 2 is 1.414, root 3 is 1.732. Roughly if I assume 1.5, because calculator is not allowed, roughly it can be selected like 0.64, roughly 2 by 3, 1.5 can be written as 2 by 3, 0.66, roughly. Okay, straightforward, based on the formula it is given. The filter that exhibits symmetry having odd number of filter length, used in applications like decimation and interpolation, this is called as half band filter. The magnitude response of a digital filter is generally taken in the range 0 to pi for a digital. So first they will be decimated into 0 to pi by 2 range. Again they are further decimated into pi by 4, 0 to pi by 4 one range, pi by 4 to pi by 2 another range. Again 0 to pi by 4 is taken as 0 to pi by 8 one range, pi by 8. This is generally used in subband coding, both decimator and interpolator. Okay, so those type of filters are called as half band filters, because we are dividing the frequency ranges into half band, 0 to pi, 1 half, 0 to pi by 2, pi by 2 to pi. We are neglecting pi by 2 to pi. Again 0 to pi by 2, another half, 0 to pi by 4, pi by 4 to pi by 2. This is generally used in speech processing. This technique is called as subband coding. The filter name is half band because the band is divided into half band filters. IIR filters involved in the design. We studied that always the digital filter specifications will be given. First we have to convert to equivalent analog filter specification because it is impossible to design directly IIR digital filter. So digital filter must be converted to analog domain. Then by using some transformation it is converted to digital domain, S plane to J plane, bilinear, IIT like that. So the best option is option B. Digital filter data is converted to analog, then they are transformed to digital form. Okay, so rest of the questions will be handled by one of our faculty member, Mr. Srikanth.
Thank you, sir. The next question in signals and systems is the Laplace transform of a function f of t defined as f of s is integration 0 to infinity f of t e power minus st dt. Here the question is where s is a complex variable given by, yes, it is a standard one. S is equals to how much it is? Sigma plus j omega. So the right option is B is the right option. Okay, yes. The next one, yeah. It is the definition of a system is said to be linear. It is the definition of linear system. See the first option. A system is said to be linear. It obeys the principle of superposition, correct. A system is said to be linear. It satisfies the homogeneity property, correct. And a system is said to be non-linear. If it obeys the principle of superposition, no, it's wrong. Okay, yes. So what are the correct options? 1 and 2 are the correct options. So the right option is C. Okay, it is the definition of the linear system. Next one. Yeah, consider the following statements. It is the definition of time invariant system. So see the first option. Time invariant system is also called shift invariant system. Yes, it's absolutely correct. So the first option is correct. Now a system is a system for which a time shift or delay of the input sequence causes a corresponding shift in the output sequence, correct. This is also correct. Okay, both first statement is correct, second statement is correct, because shift in the input is equals to shift in the output. Both the statements are correct. So what is the right option is both 1 and 2. So the right option is C is the right option. Okay, yes. The next one, yeah. A unit impulse function is defined as, it is a definition of unit impulse signal. Del of t 0 for t not equals to 0, infinite for t equals to 0, correct. It is a definition of unit impulse signal, and area under the impulse signal is 1, correct. And the third one is shifting property of the impulse signal. What is the t naught value here? So f of f naught is correct. So all the three statements are correct. So what is the right option is D is the right option. So these are questions from signals and system subject.
Hi students, I hope you have done very well this examination. My subject is network theory. Under network theory, almost 10 questions are there, 9 questions are given. Let us discuss one by one. The first question, two resistances, one of 30 ohms and another of unknown value are connected in parallel. The total power dissipated in the circuit is 450 watts. When the applied voltage is 90 volts, the value of unknown resistance will be. It is very simple. If you are able to define the network, this is the only calculation part here. Unknown resistance you have to estimate. He was given that the total applied voltage is 90 volts and one of the resistor is 30 ohms and the other is the unknown. And the total power dissipated from this source he was given, this entire network is 450 watts given. And from this I would like to estimate that the total current. You know that voltage into current is nothing but the power which is equal to 450 and applied voltage is given 90 into current I is equal to 450. The total current I value we are getting 5 amperes. Using this applied voltage and the first branch current I can estimate it is 3 amperes. Rest of the current in the second branch, that is 2 amperes. Applied voltage is 90 and current is 2 amperes, then resistance value is equal to voltage by current 90 by 2 which is equal to 45 ohms. It's very simple. Then the option for this one is equal to C. C is the correct option. This is the solution for this one. It's a very simple solution. Okay. Let us take the next example. Right. In this year, he was concentrated more on network graphs here, nothing but graph theory. The question is, which of the following statements are correct? Cutoff matrix, but this is not cutoff matrix, cut set matrix. This is cut set matrix. Cut set matrix provides a compact and effective means of writing algebraic equation given branch voltages in terms of tree branches. As you know that cut set matrix deal with the nodal analysis and tie set matrix deal with the mesh analysis or loop matrix, you can take it. That's why the first statement as per that it is correct. And in cut set matrix the number of independent node pair terminals is equal to number of tree branches. Number of tree branches is equal to twigs. Na? That's why here independent node pair terminals and tree branches are not equal. That's why second statement is not correct. And tie set matrix is used to find the branch currents. Yes, because it is the loop analysis. That's why here the second one is tie set matrix. In cut set matrix the twigs equal to n minus 1 here. It is not equal to n. That's why the second statement is wrong. First and third is the correct one. That's why as per the given option 1 and 3 are correct. Option B is the correct one. It's very simple. Similarly, one more question is given in the same topic, that is graph theory. The question is which of the following statements are correct? See the first statement. The endpoints of the line segment on the junction between the two or more branches or the endpoints of isolated branch are called nodes. Isolated branch or called nodes is not correct. That's why first statement is not correct. And the second statement, if a subgraph consisting of an order sequence of branches traversing from one node to the another, this particular subgraph is known as a path. It is a correct one, correct statement. And the closed path, the closed contour selected in a graph is known as a loop. It is also correct. That's why as per the given options or given statements, statement 2 and 3 are correct. C is the correct option. And this is the question. And next one more is given under graph theory. And the question is which of the following statements are correct? First statement, a connected subgraph of a connected graph having all the nodes of the graph without any loop as a tree. This is the tree branch means what? Tree is nothing but it is having all the nodes but there is no closed path. That's why it is the correct statement. And the second one, the branches of tree are known as twigs. Exactly right. The branches of tree are called twigs. Removed branches are links, as you know that. And the third statement, the branches that are removed from the tree are termed as links. 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 are correct. Option D is the correct one. Option D is the correct one. Answer for this one is D. It's a very simple here. 3 questions are provided or given in this examination on graph theory, right? Let us take the next question, and fourth one also is the same topic here. Consider the reduced incident matrix of a graph, the number of possible trees. Now, whenever reduced incident matrix is given A dash, you are able to find out that the incident matrix by using the property, the sum of all elements in any column is equal to 0. Based on that, you can develop the incident matrix. Now, I would like to take the incident matrix first. See this one. The incident matrix is, this is the incidence matrix. First, I would like to take that given reduced incident matrix elements 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 and 0, minus 1, 1, minus 1, 0 and 0. And minus 1, 0, and minus 1, 0, minus 1, 0. This is the given reduced incident matrix here. You know that reduced incident matrix order is n minus 1 into b. That's why using the property sum of the all elements in any column is equal to 0, I can develop that incident matrix. Here 0, here 0, here 0, here plus 1, here plus 1, here minus 1. This is n by b. Now, as per this, the number of nodes here 4 by 6. The number of nodes are 4 and number of branches are 6. Now, with this, you can take it number of branches, number of nodes directly. You are able to take that the number of possible trees by defining, by confirming that the given matrix is the complete matrix or not. Complete matrix means what? It is the complete matrix means the number of branches B is equal to NC2. No? Whether it is correct or not, 4C2 is equal to 6. Here B is equal to 6 given. Once you confirm that, once you ensure that the given matrix is the complete matrix, the number of possible trees will be, you can take that direct formula for this one, the standard formula, number of possible trees, the formula we are having here, that is n power n minus 2. Since this is accepting by the given graph, by the given incident matrix or graph, that's why 4 power 4 minus 2, which is equal to 16. 16 possible trees you can take it according to the given, right? Given graph, since it is the complete graph, option A is the correct. Okay? Right. The next example. Right, if the Z parameters of a network are Z11, Z22, Z12, here Z parameters are given here. With that, you have to take the ABCD parameters. Actually, if you want to take the ABCD parameters, we need to go for the standard formulas here. But the examiner was given according to the Z parameters, Z12 is equal to Z21. Nothing but what? It is a, here it is satisfying that what? Reciprocal network. Once if it is satisfying the reciprocal network, definitely I can take this as a T network. Here the solution, I can make it this as a T network since it is the reciprocal. Since it is the reciprocal, nothing but Z11 is equal to Z12 42 and Z12 Z21 is equal to 25 and Z22 is equal to 35. Okay. Now here this is 25 here. This will, you will get it 25 plus 17 is equal to, you will get 42 and this one 35, nothing but this is 10. Now once you know the network, you can easily get the here ABCD parameters matrix by knowing that single element ABCD parameters matrix. Now instead of remembering the formulas directly, you can take that ABCD parameters matrix because this is the cascade connection of the standard single elements, which are series element, shunt element and series element. Now the total ABCD parameters matrix. Series element means 1 Z 0 1. Shunt element means 1 0 1 by Z1. 1 Z 0 1. Now 1 0 1 by Z1 and 1 Z 0 1. Based on this, if you do that, definitely you will get that the sequence here we are getting option A is the correct one. If you do this total, you will get A, that is 1.68 is the A parameter and B parameter is 33.8 and C parameter is 1 by 25, 0.04 and D parameter is 1.4, you will get it. This is the simple way you can do it, this example, okay. Option A is the correct one for this. Now let us take the next one. Right, in series RC circuit, the value of R is 10 ohms and C is 25 nanofarads. A sinusoidal voltage of 50 megahertz is applied and the maximum voltage across the capacitance is 2.5 volts. The maximum voltage across the series combination will be nearly. Guys, the given network is what network? RC series network. Whenever if RC series network is given, he wants to take this maximum value of the applied voltage and he was given that the maximum voltage across the capacitor and this is the C and this is the R. C value, R values are given. Here if you want to get it that maximum voltage for the total applied voltage by knowing the impedances across each and every element, nothing but what here? Your job is estimation of XC, that is the only the point. According to the voltage division rule, I am able to take it that here the total voltage across the capacitor is equal to total voltage into that impedance by sum of the two impedances. It is a very simple calculation. Now XC is equal to 1 by omega C. This is the only the part you have to estimate. The calculation part you will get it. 2 pi F, here 50 given. 50 mega, nothing but 10 power 6 and 25 nano is given here. This is 10 power 9. This value you will get 0.127, you will get it. And once you know that XC value in terms of ohms, by VDR, voltage division rule, voltage across this, he was given that VC maximum is equal to applied voltage Vs maximum into that impedance. That impedance means what? XC by sum of all. Sum of all means what here? Total impedance here we are getting that. Total impedance means you can take it like this. Total impedance is equal to under root R square plus XC square, you can take it. Now based on this, here Vs maximum, this is 0.127. Using that you will get it V maximum of total voltage. These 2.5 volts is given here. Now Vs maximum you will get it as a 196 volts, you will get it. Nearly equal to 196 volts. This is the only the calculation part you will get it. Option B is the correct one. Okay. Let us take the next one. Right. An impedance Z1 is equal to 2 minus J5 ohms is connected in parallel with another impedance of 1 plus J1 ohms. If the applied voltage is 17 at an angle 0 degrees, then the currents through the Z1 and Z2 respectively. A parallel combination circuit is given here. It is a very simple AC circuit is given. That's why applied voltage is 17 at an angle 0 degrees volts and Z1 is equal to 2 minus J5 and here Z2 is equal to 1 plus J1. Now the currents are required, I1 and I2 values are required. It's very simple. I1 is equal to 17 at an angle 0 degrees by 2 minus J5 and I2 is equal to 17 by 1 plus J. Guys, here you may get a doubt regarding that calculator is not allowed. How you are getting the angle means only one part you have to take it. That one is 17 by at an angle 0 by 2 under root 2 square plus 5 square. This part you have to take it here. Here phi 1 you will get it, phi value. And this one directly you are able to take it root 2 at an angle 45 degrees. If you are able to define this one here, we are getting that here 3.16 you will get it, and option A and C are having 3.16. But if you take the I2 value 17 by root 2 value, you will get 12.02. That's why option C is the correct one. You need not estimate this phi value here directly. Once you get it this one and magnitude of the I1, you are able to define that, or you are able to select that which is the correct option. C is the correct option. You need not go for that calculation of 68.2. Directly using that I2 12.02 at an angle minus 45. This is the standard one. That's why directly you can select that C is the correct option. Okay. Let us take the next one. Right. This is the last one. In a communication network, the element of network should be designed such that maximum power transfer takes place between the source to load. Because maximum power transfer theorem examples, applications is the communication network. That's why definitely statement 1 is the correct one. And statement 2, the maximum power is absorbed by the one network from another network when the impedance of one is the complex conjugate of the another. As per the definition of the maximum power transfer theorem, second one is also correct, and the first one is the, here you know that the application of the second one, and both are correct. Reason for first one is the second one is the correct one. Okay. These are the questions are given under network theory. And next subject will be handled by my faculty, my friends. My colleague will be continued by control systems, sir. Thank you. All the best.
control system asked 9 questions, all are easy. So Nyquist plot, we know it, Nyquist plot is a what? Frequency response plot. It is just converting Nyquist contour into the what? GH plane. It is a frequency response plot. That means 1 is correct. Answer A is correct. Next, Bodeau plot. So Bodeau plot is valid for the what? Linear systems. Statement 1 is correct. In Bodeau plots, usually we can find the effect of what? Where adding pole at corner frequency, where adding 0, that easily we can identify. That means statement 2 also correct. Both 1 and 2 are correct. So here this question belongs to root contour. Given a characteristic equation, is asking simply G of S, H of S, S square plus S into 2 plus K plus 4K equal to 0. It is 1 plus G of S, H of S equal to 0. From this you have to get the what? G of S, H of S. So here you make it separate S terms and K terms. So S square plus 2S plus Ks plus 4K equal to 0. Now you divide with what? S square plus 2S, then compare with what? 1 plus GH, then you will get the answer is 1 plus K into S plus 4 divided by S into S plus 2 equal to 0. This is nothing but GH. So that is K into S plus 4 by S into S plus 2. Answer is B. Next, which one of the following is not the correct property of signal flow graph? Signal flow graph valid for only linear. First statement itself it is the wrong. Signal flow graph is applicable to non-linear time invariant system, it is wrong. So answer is A. Next, a closed loop control system as a characteristic equation is asking the stability. Simply as you know, the internal product, this two product is greater than external product, then the system is going to be stable. That means answer is A. Then here lead compensator, you know it, lead compensator, the phase margin stability improved, that means first one is wrong, bandwidth increased, second one also wrong, and velocity error constant may decrease, the third one is correct. Right. Next, the first order system with the unit ramp function, the steady state error. What is the first order system? G of S equal to 1 by tau S, H equal to 1, H of S equal to 1. So what is the steady state error for unit ramp? A by kV. So unit ramp means A is 1. kV, simply numerator constant by denominator constant you take, it will become 1 by tau. So that means you will get it what? So answer is tau. So the answer is C. So here a second order system is asking, is the time for what? Second peak. The time for second peak is what? 3 pi by omega d. So 3 pi by omega d. What is omega d? Omega n into root of 1 minus zeta square. So that means 3 pi divided by omega n here. 25 means omega n is 5 divided into 1 minus root of zeta is 0.8. 0.8 square means 0.64. Then we solve it, denominator becomes what? 3. So the answer becomes pi. So answer is A. Then which one of the following is not the correct advantage of frequency response? Frequency response is easy, it is advantage only, simple. And those the system which does not rational, it is even we can perform the what? Frequency response easy for the rational transfer function also. So directly it is visual. Frequency response method can be applied for non-linear. No, it cannot apply. It is for only linear systems. That means so answer is D. That means the answer is D. All these are correct only. All these are correct. So the answer is D. Because you want here not the correct advantage. That's all. Next, my friend Sarvan sir will continue.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you have done your examination well. Let us see the questions given in communication systems and also in advanced communication systems, especially related with communication area now. All the questions given are quite easy. This time when compared with the last year, communication area is quite easy. Let us see the questions one by one. See this one, it's a theory question. Which one of the following noise bandwidths is the bandwidth of that ideal bandpass system which produces the same noise power at the actual output? So the bandwidth which gives you the same value is considered as noise equivalent bandwidth. So your correct choice would be option A. Generally we calculate the noise equivalent bandwidth as the equal value of bandwidth which gives you the same power. Next, see this question. If an audio signal, so he is considering a single tone signal only because he has given the expression in the form of single tone signal, is quantized into a 10-bit PCM system. So your maximum frequency of the message signal is 500 Hertz and the number of bits used in the PCM are 10. The signal to quantization noise ratio is nearly equal to, he did not give in dB. If you would have given in dB, the answer would have been very simple. So what is the signal power here? 3 by root 2 whole square, it will become 4.5 watts. And what is the quantization noise power? It will be del square by 12 for a uniform quantizer. What is the delta? Vmax minus V minimum, it becomes 3 minus of minus 3, 6 by 2 power n. 2 power n means it becomes 2 power 10. So if you substitute this here, it becomes del square by 12. Vmax, delta is Vmax minus V minimum by 2 power n. So when you take del square, it becomes 36 by 2 power 20 into 12. Okay. So if you write your signal to quantization noise ratio, we have a signal power as 4.5 divided by, you will have 36 and all remaining terms will come in numerator. 12 into 10 to the power of, 2 power 10. This is a 2 power 10. Okay. Now 12 goes here 3 times. You can write a 1.5 here, correct or not? So approximately you are getting a 1.5 into 2 power 20. This is 2 power 20 here. Okay. Now you can write this because options are given in that way, you have to split that as powers of 10. 1.5 I am writing into 2 power 10 into 2 power 10. 2 power 10, as you know, it is approximately 1024, means 1000 into again 1024. So how much you will get if you approximate it as 1000, you will get 10 cube here and 10 cube here. So 1.5 little bit more value into 10 power 6. So what would be the best choice here? You can consider the value as option C. Little bit more than 1.5 and the power will be to the power 6. So that will be the right choice. Okay. Next, theory bit. In information probability, information theory, when the base is 2, the unit is bits, we all know that. And when the base is E, natural base E, the unit will be, it will be nats. Okay. Next, AM broadcast transmitter has a carrier output of 50 kilowatt with 80% modulation. What is the total power? So what is the total power here? Carrier power is 50 kilowatt, so 50 into 10 cube, PT equal to PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. So 1 plus mu is 0.8, when you square it becomes 0.64 by 2. So it will be 50 into 10 power 6 into 1.32. So when you do the numerical, it becomes around 66 kilowatt. So correct choice is option A. Okay, straightforward formula bit only. Next, let us see this 80th one. For a pulse amplitude modulation, means he is talking about PAM system. Transmission of voice signal having a maximum frequency equal to 2.5 kilohertz and if the sampling frequency is 10 kilohertz. So here the point is, he has given you the maximum frequency and he is also given you the sampling frequency which is equal to 10k. And the pulse duration is 1/10 the sampling period, means what? pulse duration is bit duration, is 1/10 the sampling duration, means 1/10 into 1 by Fs, means you can write this as 1/10 into 10 into 10 cube, means this value becomes 10 to the power of minus 5 approximately, okay, in seconds. Now what is he asking? The transmission bandwidth. Bandwidth depends on the type of pulse we take. If you take rectangular pulses, the bit rate and bandwidth are same. So generally this value will be equal to n into Fs. Okay. So if you proceed in this way, because he did not tell the number of bits that we are using for the encoding process, the nearest answer that we can go and proceed will be around 50 kilohertz. There is no confirmation on this bit, so I am considering the value could be 50 kilohertz. So this would be like, we cannot confirm, answer cannot be confirmed here as per the given data, because n is not known. So some ambiguity in the question formation might be there. So as of now I am considering it as a unknown value. Let us see, maybe if any other process is there, if anything is there, I will update, but as of now, because n is not known, clearly we cannot determine the value. Okay. Next, let us see this one. Output of ASK, ASK means amplitude shift keying, is given in 1 bit duration. You can see here k is an integer value, so it will be between t and kt, means 1 bit duration. So what are the possible representation? So in this type of questions, try to eliminate wrong answers. What is ASK? Message signal, it can be m of t or bk multiplied by carrier signal. Carrier signal is single tone, cos. So you can straight away remove these options. Only possible choice can be either C or D. Generally when you write in 1 bit duration, we will write cos omega ct. For the next bit duration, it will be cos omega c into t minus t. Delay will be there. So most of the chances are there for option D. Okay. Next, which of the following statements are correct? System is said to be linear if it obeys the principle of superposition. Correct, because when it obeys superposition, it is a linear system because it has additive principle and homogeneity principle, both. A system is said to be linear if it satisfies homogeneity principle, that is also correct. System is said to be non-linear if it obeys the principle of superposition. Remove this. So except 3, 1 and 2 can be correct. So you see the options which is having 3, eliminate those options, only possible choice is C. Okay. Next, an optical fiber has a bandwidth distance product, means you are doing a communication link for 500 megahertz kilometer range. Okay. Generally when you express bandwidth for an optical fiber, we express over a distance. So that is the reason units will be frequency multiplied by kilometer. If a bandwidth of 85 megahertz is required for a particular mode of transmission, so bandwidth is 85 megahertz into certain number of repeaters used. Let the number of repeaters used be R. NR I am taking the count on the number of repeaters. So for every 85 kilohertz bandwidth, we are using a repeater to remove the noise added by your channel. So how many number of repeaters are required, or what is the distance provided? If the bandwidth of 85 megahertz is required for a particular mode of transmission, maximum distance that can be used between repeater will be nearly dash. So these repeaters I am assuming I am using for a distance D. So what will be this D now? This will be this 500 megahertz divided by 85 megahertz. So you will get this value approximately, just check, it will be 5.9 kilometers. That's all. Simple calculation. Okay. Sorry. Is it clear? So this would be the correct choice. Next. A single mode fiber has a numerical aperture of 0.15. So he is dealing here with SMF, a single mode fiber, whose numerical aperture is given to you as 0.15. What is the maximum core diameter? Core diameter means 2A. A means radius, 2A means diameter. For use with infrared radiation with a wavelength, lambda is given as 820 nanometers. So what is the formula we have? So directly we can use a V number formula, 2 pi a by lambda into numerical aperture. So for a single mode fiber, this V number is 2.4, 2.402, 405, you can express as 2.4 also. 2a is what is our requirement, into pi into numerical aperture is given 0.15 and lambda is directly given 820 into 10 to the power of minus 9. So if you calculate, the value of 2a comes out to be somewhere around 4 point value. So 4.2 micrometers is the closest option. Okay. So this will be your correct choice. Okay. Direct bit only. Next. A pulse of a given frequency transmitted upward is received back after a period of 5 milliseconds. So what is the time taken for one-way transmission? Total time taken to reach destination and come back to the source is 5 milliseconds. So one way is 2.5 milliseconds. If the value of c, velocity of light, you take in meters, he has given in meters, I am taking in kilometers because options are in kilometers. So what is the virtual height? Simply it is nothing but that distance. So you multiply these two, 750 kilometers over. Is it clear? Speed into time. So like this, sometimes very simple questions are coming. Just try to understand basic formulas. They will be sufficient enough to write the answers for these type of questions. Next. See this one, which one of the following relations is true for an angle of entrance theta e on the axis of core. So here angle of entrance means with respect to the axis of core. So when you are dealing with the axis of the core, it will be horizontal line, not with respect to vertical line. Okay. So with respect to this, what is the value? Normal numerical aperture, what you are writing? Sine inverse of root of n1 square minus n2 square. So he has become sine theta. So right side it should be root n1 square minus n2 square. That will be definite. So you can eliminate this option and you can also eliminate this option. These are plus here. So one of these should be correct. So if your air is the medium of transmission, means entering into the optical fiber from the air medium, n0 is 1. Otherwise some value will be there on the left side. So that he has substituted on the right side. So only possible choice is C. That's all. Okay. But be very clear, this is the axis of core which he is considering, not your vertical line. We are having two cases here. Vertical will be normal. Now we are dealing with horizontal axis. So that is the main difference. Okay. Next. For FM wave of 1 GHz is radiated by an antenna to cover a distance of 100 kilometers. Same model, velocity of propagation is given. What is the time taken by the wave to travel the above distance? So if you use the same logic that you have used earlier, approximately it will be 333 microseconds. Direct question. Okay. Next. If a pulse sent to the target returns after 15 microseconds. So again the same model he is using. So round trip distance is 15 microseconds. So one way distance, one way time is 7.5 microseconds. Velocity of light is given 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second or 3 into 10 to the power of 5 kilometers per second. So what is the distance? Just multiply these two. 7.5 into 3, you will get a 225 into 10 power 5. So approximately the only possible choice that you can make out from here is this value. Okay. Next. Pulse width modulation mode is commonly used in embedded systems. Application for PWM is used for controlling purposes, especially power control in all motors, because sometimes based on the input supply voltage also variation in supply will be there. That Hertz small deviation or peak voltage small deviation can result in a large deviation. So to overcome that problem, we use PWM for controlling the speed. speed control will automatically control power. So, only possible choice is A, controlling of speed of DC motors. Next, 5 channels. So, here he is taking a capital N value as 5 with a 100 kilohertz bandwidth. Each bandwidth is 100K to be multiplexed together if there is a need for guard band. So, guard band extra space left between 2 channels is 10K. The minimum bandwidth. So, what is the total bandwidth requirement? You are having a 5, each is consuming 100K, and 5 channels are there, means you require 4 guard bands. So, 4 into 10K, finish. So, you will get this is 500 and this is 40, 540 kilohertz multiplexed signal bandwidth. Okay. Next, the free space path loss incurred by an electromagnetic wave is given by dash. It is a 4 pi d by lambda whole square. The total path loss formula which you will use is LP. Just a moment. Path loss is LP 4 pi d by lambda whole square. Okay. So, d is the distance, 4 pi is a value here, lambda you can write it as C by F. So, definitely it will be option A. Okay. Next, which of the following amplifiers is widely used in transponders? Transponders means these are the devices at satellites which will provide communication links. Okay. To provide the final output power required to transmit antenna, we use a TWA, traveling wave amplifier, microwave amplifiers. Okay. Next, which of the following systems of satellite is sometimes also referred to as internet in the sky? It's a very strange bit. Internet in the sky is nothing but satellite only, because how you are communicating nowadays, even in flight also you can have internet access. So, that is possible only because of satellite link. Okay. So, whenever you are having internet in the sky, the meaning is you are providing internet access using a satellite communication. So, we are using either low earth orbit or medium earth orbit satellites for providing that link. These are all different names. Actually, Starlink is there, which is this provided by US service provider. They are directly using satellite frequencies to provide link in the space communication, but that is not given. That is the latest thing. So, basically here concept is to identify which satellite orbit is used for that communication. Either low earth orbit, LEO, or medium earth orbit satellites will be used. One of these will be the case. So, here he has given medium earth orbit, you can go with that option. Okay. If Starlink is there, then that would have been correct. Just remember that point. Next, a directional antenna. This is related with satellite communication only, with a 10 dB gain. So, gain of your transmitter is given as 10 dB, means 10 value, radiates 500 watts. So, what is the power of the signal coming at input of receiver? It is the power of the signal at the output of the transmitter. You can take that value and gain of transmitter into, we can write effective aperture of the antenna divided by 4 pi r square. Directly you can use this formula. So, here what are the values given to us? Power of the signal coming at the input of the receiver, he has given to you as radiates 500 and receives 2 microwatt. So, 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 equal to power radiated by the antenna is 500, gain of the transmitter 10 dB means 10. You have to calculate this effective aperture, that is the area, by 4 pi distance square. Distance is given to you as 15 kilometers. So, you can write 15 square, kilometer is in meters 10 cube, when you square it becomes 10 power 6. So, when you substitute these values, approximately it will be 1.1 meter square, closest possible option. Okay. So, this will be the correct choice. Next, the time used for all civil timekeeping purposes and is a time reference which is broadcast by National Bureau of Standards. So, this is like you are operating different systems at different locations. India you have a server, US you have a server, Australia you have a server. So whenever you are accessing data from different servers, you should have a synchronization pulse for getting the data at the right interval. So for that purpose we use a standard time frame. So that standard time frame we use for access is called as UTC, Universal Time Coordinated System. Shortcut we call it as UTC. Okay. Right. Next, the point on the earth vertically under the satellite is referred to as subsatellite point. These are all direct theory bits, nothing very special here. The total reduction of power level in an optical fiber cable capital A dB is dash. So whenever you transmit your signal in an optical fiber cable, one point to another point, there is a loss of power. So this is a power at the transmitter, this is the power at the receiver. So when you take the powers, it will be 10 log. So PR to PT, this value will be negative because we are talking about attenuation. Okay, so here you can easily mark your answer. They are given 20 logs, but only possible choice will be 10. P out is power received and P in is power transmitted. Next, mode partition noise is a multiplicative noise in an optical fiber cable, and mode partition noise arises when the optical fiber source emits several frequencies in a rapid succession. So whenever you are having a laser source especially, it keeps on giving a different modes. So when you are getting different modes, you are getting different wavelengths and different frequencies. So when these get transmitted and when they become linked with your optical fiber cable, it creates a distortion. That distortion is what we are referring as partition mode distortion. So it definitely comes because of different wavelengths and different frequencies. So this statement is definitely correct, there is no doubt. And it creates a multiplicative noise. Both the statements are definitely correct. Okay, it is having a multiplicative effect. So only possible choice is your option A. Both are correct, and second statement is also a correct explanation for first statement. So these are all the questions which came from communication and advanced communication part. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am going to discuss the solutions from measurements as well as basic electrical engineering. The question here is, voltmeter has a resistance of 2000 ohm and it is connected across 230 volt in series with the instrument reads 160 volt. Very simple, a voltage source is taken, this is 230 volt and its resistance is, what is it? This resistance must be connected, calculated, Rex, and voltmeter is connected over here. This voltmeter internal resistance is 20,000, that is 20 kilo ohm, and this meter is reading 160 volt. This meter is reading 160 volt. Right? If you apply the voltage division law, 160 is equal to 230 into 20 kilo by 20 kilo plus Rx. You are going to get the value of Rx as 8750 ohm. So answer here is direct first option, right? The next question is, which one of the following is not a correct method of obtaining damping torque? Air friction method is there, fluid friction is there, eddy current damping torque is also there. So therefore, which is not means magnetic field is not correct. A 0 to 25 ampere guaranteed accuracy is given and true value directly by the formula. Percentage limiting error equal to full scale value by true value into guaranteed accuracy error. You are going to get answer as 2.5%. So direct formula. You have done so many questions in the class. Next question is, the torque of an ammeter is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. A current of 10 ampere having 60 degrees, and for 40 degrees what is the corresponding current, and that too he has given spring control method. In this, the torque of an ammeter is directly proportional to the current, means he has given TD is proportional to I, and spring control method means TC is proportional to theta. Spring control method means TC is proportional to theta, therefore theta is proportional to I. Right? Now, if you are using the formula theta 2 by theta 1 is equal to I2 by I1, you are going to get the current value. Just substitute the values, you are going to get the value as 6.7 approximately. Right. Next answer is, the basic permanent magnet moving coil instrument mechanism. Direct conceptual question. The permanent magnet moving coil mechanism is d'Arsonval moment. Right. Next one. Which one of the following types of instruments will be used for AC current, voltage, power, energy? Very simple. Here power and energy is not possible. Here moving coil denominator is current, voltage, power is there, but he is asking energy. So therefore induction type. In a measurement system, if the force is a measured variable, then its associated variable is very simple. Torque into omega is equal to power. Instead of torque, he has given force. Angular velocity we can write normal velocity. So therefore, force and velocity with respect to the power. Force is given, right? And power related he has given. So therefore, simply which one? Velocity. That which velocity? Translational velocity. Right? Next one, a coil with a resistance of 5 ohm and 8 megahertz, 150 picofarad is given, 0.1 ohm is given. He is asking the percentage error. In the class we have seen the direct formula, minus R by R plus R coil into 100. Minus R, what is that? Inserted resistance. What is that? 0.1. Of course, minus R is 5 plus 0.1 into 100. If you simplify this, you are going to get approximately 1.96%. Of course, minus, but in the options is not given. So directly 2% you can select it. Next one, an accelerometer has a seismic mass of 0.06 kg. Mass is given, force constant is given, and displacement is given. So what is asking? Maximum measurable acceleration. Simply F is equal to mass into acceleration, and F is K into X is equal to mass into acceleration. So acceleration is equal to K into X by mass. If you substitute all the values, you are going to get 1875 meters per second square. Next one is the input for most of the instrumentation systems is non-electrical. Nothing but he is asking like non-electrical input is given. It is converted into an electrical signal by a device called, so direct. Chapter name, topic name is a transducer, which converts non-electrical into electrical. Next one, in an induction type energy meter, normally the flux due to shunt magnet does not lag the supply voltage exactly by 90. It is corresponding less than 90 something. Delta is 88, 87, we have seen in the class. The torque on the disc not 0 at 0 power factor, this error is called as generally phase error. The phase angle is not exact 90, therefore we can write as phase error. Which one of the following statements not correct? Kindly focus, it is not correct. Moving iron instrument. Moving iron instrument possesses high operating torque. No, it is not correct, so therefore he is asking this only. Moving iron instrument, electromagnet, comparatively permanent magnet is stronger than the MI, so therefore simply MI is possessing high means it is a wrong answer. He is asking not correct only. So these are the questions from measurement subject, and I am taking basic electrical engineering questions now. Basic electrical engineering questions. Right. The question here is, consider the following statements regarding transformer. So what are the corresponding options here? What is that? It is a device that transfers electrical power from one circuit to another circuit, correct? Right? It is a device that transfers electrical power from one circuit to another circuit, correct? And second one is, in a transformer, the two electric circuits are linked by mutual induction. It is also correct. So therefore, both 1 and 2 are correct. An 8-pole lap wound DC generator has 1000 armature conductors. Poles are given and armature conductor Z is given. A flux density 20 milliweber per pole is given, and the EMF is 200 volt. What is the speed? Direct formula, Eg is equal to phi Z NP by 60 into A. As it is lap wound, right? We can cancel P and A. What you require? Speed you require. Eg into 60 by phi into Z. All values are given. Eg is given as well as phi is given and then Z is given. If you substitute that, you are going to get the answer as 600 RPM. Just substitute the values, you will be getting the answer as 600 RPM. Next one is a 6-pole synchronous generator driven at 1000 RPM. With respect to this one, 1000 RPM 6 poles are there. So what is the value you are going to get? F is equal to 50 Hz we get, because Ns equal to 120 F by P. Synchronous generator means runs at synchronous speed. So with this data we will be getting 50 Hz. This supply is given to 4-pole induction motor. So therefore 4-pole is the induction motor. This is the supply given by the synchronous machine to the induction motor. So from this data we have calculated the frequency. What is that? Ns is equal to 120 F by P. From this data F is equal to 50. This supply is given to 4-pole induction motor if it is loaded to run at 4% slip. So simply slip is given as 4%. What is asking? Motor speed. So simply with this data 120 F by P, Ns is equal to 120 F by P. How much you will be getting? 4 poles are there. 4 poles means simply 1500 RPM will be there. 4 pole means 1500 RPM, and then Nr is equal to Ns into 1 minus S. What is Ns value? 1500 into 1 minus S is 0.04. If you simplify this, you will be getting 1440 RPM. You are going to get 1440 RPM. Right? Next question is, which one of the following missions, the field poles are on the stator. Field pole stator means stator is acting as a field system and the rotor constitutes armature. nothing but which machine directly? DC machine, right? The impedance which transforms from one side of the ideal transformer to the other in the direct, nothing but he is asking, if you see the option number of turns as well as correspondingly impedance he is asking, what we can say? I1 square R1 for example equal to I2 square R2. From this R1 by R2, what we can write? I2 square by I1 square. I2 square by I1 square we can write over here. And anyway, in the place of current ratio, we can write number of turns ratio. So simply, if you are writing the number of turns ratio, impedance or resistance similar, so therefore it is directly proportional to which one? Simply square ratio of turns. Right? Next one, a transformer rated 200 by 50 volt, 10 kVA, the core loss is 100 watts and copper loss is 200 watts. What he is asking? Maximum efficiency related kVA he is asking. We know the direct formula, that is kVA full load into root of iron loss by copper loss. What is the full load kVA? 10 kVA into what is iron loss? 100, copper loss is 200. So therefore 100 by 200 you will be getting 7.07 kVA. So answer is given as 7 kV is the correct answer. Next one, the EMF per turn of a so and so transformer is 10 volt. So what is given? E by N is given. What is that? 10 volt is given. If the maximum flux density 1.5 Tesla, the net cross-sectional area of the core, what is the formula? 4.44, right? N we brought it here. Bm into A into F. Bm into A into F. So therefore, what you require here? Net cross-sectional area. All values are given. Bm is given, right? And then frequency is given. If you substitute that, you are going to get A as 0.03 meter square. Yes, 0.03 meter square. Next question is a three-phase four-pole 50 Hz induction motor runs at 1455. Very simple question. What is that? The value of slip will be, sir, 4 poles are there, 50 Hz. What is the synchronous speed? Ns is equal to 1500 RPM. And then what is that? Slip is equal to Ns minus Nr by Ns. He is asking in percentage, so simply 100. What is the value? 1500 minus 1455 by 1500 into 100. You are going to get the answer as 3%. 1500 minus 40, yes, answer will be 3%. And which one of the following statements is correct regarding ideal transformer? Among these, which is correct, he is asking. The leakage flux is large. No. The transformer core losses are large. No. The transformer core material has infinite permeability. Correct. And the transformer windings are with large resistance. Wrong. So therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, which one of the following is not? Kindly concentrate whether he is asking the values or not correct values. He is asking which of the following is not correct advantage of wound rotor induction motor, that is slip ring induction motor, which is not the advantage. It has high starting torque, it is advantage. It has adjustable speed, yes. It has high overloading capacity, yes. It has high efficiency, no. Because of addition of resistances, what we have seen, the efficiency will be less. So, but he has given high, so therefore not correct. So these are the questions from both subjects, measurements as well as basic electrical engineering.
Welcome to ACE Online. Myself Madhushekar, faculty at ACE Academy and ACE Online. I am here going to discuss about ESE 2025 questions from material science. Okay. Now, here is a question. Whenever a charged particle has an angular momentum, it will contribute to the permanent dipole moment. The following are the contributions to the angular momentum of an atom. Okay. See, angular momentum of an atom, generally two types basically, orbital angular momentum of an electron and a spin of an electron, these two. Nuclear spin of angular momentum is not there. Okay. Nuclear spin of electron momentum is not there. So, 1 and 2 are the correct. So, A is the correct option for this question. A is the correct option. Now, next question is a very simple question. Now, see here, a substance of an FCC lattice. FCC lattice having a molecular weight of 60.2, okay, density of 6250 kg per meter cube. If the value of N is 6.02 into 10 power 26 kg per mole, okay, this is in terms of kg given, this is also kg given, the lattice constant. See, there is a density equation, theoretical density formula I am using, okay, theoretical density formula I am using here. So, theoretical density rho equal to number of atoms into atomic weight by Avogadro's number into volume of unit cell. Okay. So, here FCC structure is given, okay, number of atoms 4 atoms, okay, atomic weight is given, atomic weight 60.2 atomic weight, Avogadro's number is given, okay, that is 6.02 into 10 power 26 kg per mole. Actually, in 1 mole this many number, in 1 kg this many number of atoms are there, mole per kg you can say, grams per mole, like that, kg per mole, right. And volume of unit cell you can take it as A cube, lattice constant A cube. We should calculate A from this equation, right. So, if I consider A is equal to N into atomic weight by Avogadro's number into density whole power 1 by 3, by substituting these values in this equation, you will get the answer is approximately 4 angstroms you will get. So, B is the correct answer for this question. Now, next question is a complete theoretical based question. Steatite is made up of? Steatite is made up of a talc mixed with a small quantity of clay and feldspar. So, A is the correct answer for this question. Okay, na? A is the correct answer for this question. Now, which of the following are the important varieties of electrical mica? See, electrical mica materials are muscovite mica and phlogopite mica. So, these two are the electrical materials of mica. So, A is the correct answer for this question, right. Now, this is a question. In this question, dielectric strength is given 40,000 volts per mm, okay, and voltage is given 33 kilovolts given, right. So, they are asking the thickness of the insulation of material they are given. So, very simple, by matching the units you will get actually. See, thickness is equal to, right, voltage by dielectric strength you can take, dielectric strength ds. So, voltage is 33 kilovolts. So, 33,000 by 40,000 volts per meter. So, by solving this you will get option C, that is the correct answer for this question. Very simple question. Next question, STM stands for, see, STM is a microscopic analysis technique. So, scanning tunneling microscope actually, this is a scanning tunneling microscope, okay. So, A is the correct answer for this STM, okay. Next is, this is related to the magnetic material, an iron rod of 2 meter length and 4 centimeter square cross sectional area is in the form of closed ring. The permeability of the iron is 50 into 10 power minus 4 Henry per meter. To produce a magnetic flux of 4 into 10 power minus 4 Webers, the required ampere turns will be. Now, see here, this is a question, it is a very simple question. Remember, length of the coil is given 2 meter, okay. area is given 4 centimeter square, I am converting into meter, so that 4 into 10 power minus 4 meter square, okay. And permeability mu is given for this material 50 into 10 power minus 4 Henry per meter, and magnetic flux B is given, that is 4 into 10 power minus 4. Here one important thing you should remember, it is Weber, but we require Weber for meter square. Magnetic flux density is equal to, okay, 4 into 10 power minus 4 by area, that is 4 into 10 power minus 4, okay, so that you will get 1 Tesla, otherwise Webers for meter square, right. So B is equal to, okay, mu into H. From this, H is equal to B by mu. Remember, H is equal to B by mu. H is equal to B by mu. You can also write H in terms of current into number of turns by length of the coil. And in the question, ampere per meter length is given in the units, you can check ampere per meter, so that, okay, so we require B by N, I by L, that is B by mu. B is equal to 1 Tesla, mu equal to how much? 50, right, mu equal to 50, right, 50 into 10 power minus 4. So from this you will get 200 ampere per meter, answer you will get from this, right. So very simple question this also, right. Next question, here it is, when transactions are executed concurrently in an interrelated fashion, then order of execution of operation from the variation of transaction is known as a schedule, okay. It is not related to exactly a material science, but the answer for this question is a schedule, right. Which one of the following is one of the most popular solution processing for nanomaterial? Sol gel technique is one of the most popular material for nanomaterial. It's a bottom up approach method, right. So superconductor, okay, critical transition temperature is directly proportional to mass under root 1 by mass of isotope, so that you can take out of these three, A is the correct answer for this question. So A is the correct answer for this question, right. Next, the Cooper pair, so actually the Cooper pairs are nothing but electron pairs generated at very low temperature, that is related to superconductivity. So in a material, superconductor is generated because of Cooper pairs. Now for a mercury of mass number 202, the value of alpha is 0.5, Tc is 4.15 Kelvin, the isotopic mercury mass is 200, the transition temperature. See the transition temperature and mass they are asking, see the formula I am using here, right. Critical temperature is proportional to 1 by under root mass, right. So transition temperature they are asking, so Tc2 by Tc1 is equal to, okay, under root m2 by m1 you can take, right. m2 by m1, m2 is 200 by 202, okay. So Tc2 is equal to 4.153 into under root 200 by 202. Now we can take here slightly lesser, right, slightly lesser. So under root 200 by 202 is given mercury mass, so slightly less than 4.15. So out of all these options, all are greater than 4.15. So you go with this A option, but you can say nearly this answer you will get actually, right. Now which one of the following, a polycrystalline material of high purity is a raw material for preparation of single crystalline material, that is a metallurgical grade silicon material we are using, right. So these are the questions related to material science.
So I'm going to give you the key for electromagnetic theory questions. So for 110, for this question, the answer is option A. So let me change the color. For this question, the answer is option A. For 111, so for this question it is option C. So your set might be different, you check the question as well as the key. For 112, it is option B. For 114, yeah, for 113, it is option C. For 112, yeah, it's correct. 114, it is option B. For 116, it is option D. For 118, it is option B. So for 119, it is option A. And for 120, it is option B. So these are the, we are just providing you the key for this electromagnetic theory subjects. So next, digital faculty Sriram sir will continue the session.
Welcome friends. Coming to the digital electronics questions here. The advantage of the dual slope ADC. Dual slope ADC actually it is very low sensitive for noise. We know the signal to noise ratio is very good for dual slope ADC. See, so low sensitive to the noise and variation in the component value caused by pressure. There is no concept of pressure in ADC and DAC, okay, that's why. So pressure based options you can eliminate. High sensitivity to due to noise, no, actually we have low sensitivity means low sensitive, okay. So high resistive for the noise, so that's why low sensitivity to the noise and variation, its component value caused by temperature changes. D is the correct option. You can minimize this expression. We can take, you can use any method here. For example, some students may start minimization of expression. 1 or 2 times you need to use RLR, redundant literal rule, or otherwise you can use a reverse K-map, I mean K-map concept also. So for example, here B is common, B, and here also B. You can remove this. So instead of this, simply you can write B. A, B, C and D, it's a 4 variable K-map, right? Right. So we need to get a common term of B like this. So these are the min terms involved, indirectly we can say. And this is A, B bar, C. A, B bar, C. These 2 min terms will be involved if you expand the function. And this is A bar, C. A bar and C. Finally, these are the min terms you will find from this. And if you go for the grouping, you can find only 2 groups, right? Group of 8 min terms and a group of 8 min terms. B plus C. B plus C, B is a correct option, B plus C, right. This is the direct XS3, but read the question carefully. He is not asking the answer, I mean result in decimal, okay. He is asking result in XS3 only. So directly you can add these 2 numbers. Even if you follow the method, conventional method for XS3 addition, again after the 3-4 steps you will get back again this 14 only, right. PAL is a programmable logic device. So strictly speaking, you know, programmable array logic, right. So logic device with a fixed R array. You know well, here AND is flexible, I mean AND is programmable and R is fixed. R you cannot program it, okay, right. So he also given the same information and a programmable AND array because only the AND gates are. So what is actually the point given regarding to the AND gate? If you read the statements carefully, so AND non-programmable, PAL is easy to program. Strictly speaking, in PAL, AND is a programmable. You can eliminate option A. AND programmable and non-programmable. Option C we can eliminate. AND is programmable. Now you read the remaining statements, right. And programmable, the PAL is not easier to program then, but it is flexible as a PLA. Actually, as compared to PLA and PAL, in PLA, both AND as well as R are programmable. That's why PLA is more flexible. As compared to PAL, PLA is more flexible, flexibility point of view. It may be easy to design, PAL may be easy, but flexibility wise PLA is flexible because we can program AND gates as well as OR gates, okay. So AND gates are programmable, the PAL is easier to program then, but it is not as flexible as a PLA. So D is a correct option. ROM, read only memory, so it is a non-volatile. We cannot rewrite, okay. Erasing, reprogramming is not possible with ROM, non-volatile memory. Characteristic equation of JK flip-flop, actually we have to follow the procedure, right. You know, JK, Qn and Qn plus 1. If you take the table for this, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. For 0, 0 previous case will come, here zeros, ones, toggle, and if you take the K map for this, J bar J, K bar Q bar, K bar Q, KQ and KQ bar, 0, 1, 0, 0 and this is 0, okay, right. We will have two groups, two pairs like this, K bar Qn plus J Qn bar. We will get K bar Qn plus J Qn bar. A is the correct option. I have given rough sketch only, you know, characteristic equation standard table. JK flip flop, JK Qn Qn plus 1. We are writing expression for Qn plus 1, okay. Yeah, these are the questions given from digital electronics.
Yeah, let's look at the questions appeared this year ESE examination 2025 in the subject Computer Fundamentals, which includes Computer Architecture and Organization. So let us see that, okay, what exactly the questions have been asked and what are the solutions for this. So if you see the 79th question, so go through the question. He is asking about the loading, what type of loading it is going to be called as. I think it's easy to answer to the question. Answer is A, that is dynamic loading. Well, so in paging, so he is asking about how many times we are going to find the page number, and that's nothing but, you know, hit ratio. Number of times page found divided by total number of attempts. So that's none other than hit ratio. Well, this is little tricky question you need to understand here. He told that this is a non-random access memory, nothing but it is a sequential memory. That means once you access first byte, remaining bytes you can access it one after another. So that's the meaning of this one here. So that's the reason here to access small n bits, what is the time required? So what are these parameters he has given here? TA is average access time. So we require the average access time only once, and after that it is going to take a time of n into 1 by r, where r is called as rate of transfer. So access time we require only once, plus n times multiplied by 1 by r. That's the right answer to this. Yeah. So had it been sequential, random access memory, then the answer would have been n into TA, that is for random access memory. But for this one, it is going to be TA plus n into 1 by r. That's the right answer. Okay. Fine. Let's go ahead with this. I think this is a very trivial one. Okay. So he's telling that whatever memory I want, I must be able to access it. In the middle, wherever I want it, that's none other than random access memory. Fine. So look at this question. So large memory, we are going to store it into a small and fast memory. Small and fast memory. Some people may think that SRAM is suitable for this, but the most suited one, SRAM is also correct, but the most suited one is the cache memory. So you have to choose this answer, then only it will be correct. Fine. So which of the following applications are characterized by the presence of many single threaded process? Please try to understand, the process is having only one thread. The process is having only one thread. So which of these are going to be applicable for this one? So definitely we are going to be multi-process applications. Okay? In multi-process application, each application requires single thread. Like that, multi-process applications require multiple threads. That is the answer to this one. Fine. So here C is nothing but the number of parity bits, and N is nothing but the number of message bits. I think you would have seen at the time of your Hamming code, how many number of parity bits we have to add it to the message bits. So the same concept you can make use of this here. 2 power C should be greater than or equal to n plus C plus 1. So the correct answer is this, where n is called number of message bits and C is called number of parity bits. So that many parity bits you have to choose it. So that is what you can understand. Well, so here a serial bit stream of any length, I want to handle it, which type of protocol is better? So I think you can understand that bits may be any number, okay, even number, odd number, it can be any number, we do not know. So the best type of protocol for that is bit-oriented protocol. So the correct answer to this is this. So byte-oriented protocol, what is the problem is? Entire data should be in terms of bytes, okay, in terms of bytes. But here I don't know how many bits are going to come, okay. So it may be giving integer number of bytes, sometimes it may not give. That's the reason bit oriented protocol is the right answer for this. I think this is a very simple question. Had you followed the technique what we discussed in the class, he told that CPU will stop the program, goes to the IO program, execute that program, and again comes back to the main program. So this is nothing but interrupt initiated IO. Okay, so that is, I think, very simple, easy to understand. Right, in some microprocessor like 680X0, one instruction has been given. So what type this instruction denotes? You may ask me, sir, we did not study about 68 processor, but that is the problem here. You need to have the presence of mind. Okay, so based on your fundamentals, you must be able to pick the answer. As you can see here, both of them are shown with same alphabet, D1 and D2. So they have to be either registers or D1 and D2 should be memories. But in most of the processors, memory to memory data transfer will never occur. Okay, it will never occur. So that's the reason, obviously, this has to be register to register data transfer. So the correct answer is this. So it is addition of register and register. Okay, so that is what you have to understand. Addition of memory data with another memory data, most of the processors, it doesn't exist. Okay, that's it. And you cannot say that this is one of them is register, other one is a memory. No, because both of them are having the same notation. Hence, this is the answer to this. Yeah, so these are the questions appeared on computer fundamentals. I think you would have seen, to answer to these questions, you need to have the overall view of the subject. You don't get it from any textbook. You should understand it. Okay. So some of the questions are given based on the practical exposure as well understanding of the fundamentals. So hope that you understood these questions and answered it in a proper manner. The detailed and correct all solutions will be uploaded in our website in 2 days. So I request all of you to go to the website and go through the detailed solution, and if there is any query from your side, I'll request you to approach us through mail. Thank you very much. Wish you best of luck.